Please read the disclaimer. Today is the day we finally find out what is up with the CPI data. Hello, beautiful people. Shalom, money makers. We're going to talk about XRP, about Bitcoin, about crypto, all the latest and the greatest. Interesting, a government official is moving to crypto. Well, a very high ranking government official is moving to the crypto industry. We'll talk about what President Trump said last night and an interesting move from the Fed that is withdrawing something from 2023 that could be very, very important for Ripple. And Ripple was meeting with the government. We're going to talk about all that and giving you little tastes there. All I ask from you is that you give me a beautiful smile to send out those good vibes. Smash that like button and let's get into it. So currently XRP is sitting at $1.84. XRP is at the lowest point it has been since November 21st, November 22nd, when we saw that low point. That was also the low point for Bitcoin, but actually Bitcoin is holding a little bit better than XRP. You can see also Ethereum and Solana. Actually, Solana is back to the same place. The only two that are holding are Ethereum and XRP, which is interesting. Sorry, Ethereum and Bitcoin, which is interesting. Solana, XRP not holding the same levels. If you go to other assets, for example, like Cardano, you can see they are lower. Algorand is lower. HBAR is lower, right? Remember, people were talking about the ETFs and HBAR has an ETF and Litecoin. Where's Litecoin? Right? Litecoin has an ETF. Oh, right. The ETF is going to change everything, people were saying. And I was like, no, wait with the ETFs. It might take a while, especially if the market is not amazing. That's what we've seen so far. But today, a lot can change. Today, we have the CPI data, expectations 3.1. We'll know at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, and then we'll find out where the market is going. There's two factors, by the way. It's not just CPI, but the market, I think, is still waiting to see what is potentially going to happen with Japan and with their interest rates. So those are the two factors that I'm going to be watching the next 48 hours, and we'll see how that potentially plays out here. And we'll know a little bit better where the market is going. Could we see a continuation? Could we see the market continue to pull back? Maybe XRP even goes down to this 160.62 level, right? This is a level that we tested before back in April. So that is a level that we could test once again. And then, if that happens, we'll probably see Bitcoin again to the 80,000, maybe even to the 78,000 level. So those are things that we need to watch. But again, this is a lot of data driven stuff. And we'll see how it plays out. Now, you can always take advantage of these moves up or down. If you're interested, our partner BYDFI will give you the opportunity to do so. We do have an exclusive welcome deal, only 6 more days. So join now before Christmas and you can start, taking advantage of the movements up or down if you are interested. Link is in the description down below. This is another way to support the channel. I will get a commission. You could potentially get some of these bonuses, extra bonuses when you sign up, and a potential entry to the whale group if you qualify. So join also the Telegram group. There's a fly here bothering me. Link is in the description down below. And please trade responsibly. Again, I will get a commission. So thank you for that. So recently we've been talking a lot about the CFTC. Well, interestingly, Caroline Pham is going to be MoonPay's new chief legal officer and chief administration officer. Caroline is the current acting chairman at the CFTC, and now she's going to be moving, once she finishes her role as the chairman, to MoonPay. So very interesting. This is not the first time we've seen government officials. Remember, there was Bo that went to work at Tether. And now we're seeing Caroline, which is a interesting shift here. She was always pro crypto, so it's not that surprising that she's going for a corporate job in crypto. But this is connections, things that potentially she could help going forward. So very big for MoonPay. And we also have the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, stating that the Trump administration is dismantling all regulatory obstacles facing for the crypto industry. Leaders from Coinbase, Ripple, and A16Z or A16Z met with Senator Tim Scott today to hash out crypto market bill structure. And so this is, again, Coinbase, Ripple, Ripple, with a greater degree would not be at these meetings just 1 year ago. So it's a big shift, big shift from where we were just a year ago. And new big news from the Federal Reserve today. It's withdrawing a 2023 guidance that effectively blocked uninsured banks from becoming Fed members and engaging in crypto. This guidance underpinned the Fed denial of custodial banks' master account, right? And so this is a possibility now that this changes the default assumption. Crypto activity as banks is no longer blocked by policy posture, but examined through supervision and risk frameworks, which is how the rest of the banking system already operates. So someone said here, Ripple is going to get their Fed master account, right? Maybe. We'll see what happens with that. But again, this is something that was blocking Ripple. This was something that was blocking the crypto industry. And now that has been lifted. So all the, the things that were blocking crypto, that were making it harder for crypto to operate, the Fed, the SEC, the CFTC, they're all removing all these crippling regulations. And now the crypto market can be a lot freer in the United States of America. Around the world, you guys know, those of you that are not in the US, are in other countries. Some have better regulation, some have worse regulation. It depends on where you are around the world. But we know that the US market has a lot of effect on what's happening from a price action standpoint. And I know that that's what's interesting to most of you. And, you can't go specifically. I know 60% of my viewership is from the US. So many times you'll notice that we talk a lot about the US, but that's because it affects the whole crypto market. Coinbase kept hinting, right, that they got something big coming yesterday, and they introduced Coinbase custom stablecoins. Create a branded stablecoin for your business backed by one but collateral custodian by Coinbase. Earn rewards, seamless interoperability across chains, tap into Coinbase global distribution. You remember in the blockchain conference, I think it was about a year ago, and we got that clip of about a minute and a half where all the people, all the politicians, everybody was stablecoins. I don't know if you remember that video, but we're already seeing it happen. We're seeing a lot of resources go towards stablecoins. We're seeing a lot of emphasis go towards stablecoin. And again, I think that that is the gateway for many retail investors to enter the crypto market once they have that initial, taste, and they see that crypto is not what many people, try to scare us with stablecoins. Then maybe they'll try and invest in crypto going forward. And again, short term, I know the price action, it's terrible right now. It might be at the lowest point, even though that I was surprised the fear was actually higher than the day before. We're still in extreme fear, but we were at 11 and now we're at 17, which is interesting because Bitcoin was about the same price, but the fear came up a little bit. So we'll see how that plays out today. Again, the CPI can be affect significantly what's going to happen. The market could go one way and then could go another way. I have no idea what's going to happen. Of course, this video is for educational purposes and entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. Very, very important. Let's continue here. A lot of people were anticipating and hoping and wanted to see what the president was going to have his press conference last night. People were letting me know in the comment section that maybe the sell-off that happened last night was because of the situation between the US and Venezuela. And people were concerned that maybe the U.S. is going to, get into a scuffle there, and then, it creates a fear in the markets. I don't think that that was the reason. Maybe I think it's still a fear of CPI, fear of Japan decision, and that's what's weighing down the markets right now. Of course, it could be, but you have the president coming out and saying that the U.S. is preparing for a historic economic boom, right? And so, that's something that's, whenever he's kind of said similar things. It usually is the bottom of the market, but we'll see. We'll see what happens there. He also said that next year will be the largest tax refund season of all time. So we'll see again if that is going to happen. But for the most part, I didn't see anything that would affect the market negatively from what he said. And you can see, even if you go to like Yahoo, you can see CPI inflation print takes center stage. This is maybe a negative article about the crypto markets as Bitcoin silent exodus hits crypto as longtime buyers cash out. And yes, that is happening. We talked about how in China, long-term holders, it seems, have been releasing assets. We talked about some whales that had been releasing assets, that people that have been holding for a long, long period of time that are releasing some assets. It happens. People take profits. It's part of the game. This is just something that we have to take into consideration. Again, there's going to be good times and there's going to be bad times. And, there are channels that might want to hype it up, but that's not how I do it. I give you the truth. I give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I really appreciate you continuing to come and support the channel and watching, daily. If it's 2 times or 3 times or 1 time a day, I really appreciate you anyway. So again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Check out the links in the description down below. Smash the like button. Drop a comment, 8 for infinity and beyond, or whatever your heart desires. You can always drop a super thanks if you want to support that way. There's also a thing called Hype. I don't know. It's not available to me in my location yet, but I can see if you guys do it. So if it's available for you, maybe it helps the video. I don't know. So hype it up. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you next time.